In this video, we are going to look at widgets. Widgets are those little things that you're going to see placed around blogs or websites. In our case, in our template, the widgets are in the right-hand column. Now, a widget is really just a snippet of code that WordPress creates that lets you drop in things over on the left-hand menu without knowing any code. So let's go over to our dashboard. And we will go down to Appearance, Widgets. And for some reason, I just love the word widgets. It reminds me of Wabbits, if you're an old Bugs Bunny fan. So again, widgets, if you want to get more information, click on the Help menu. And the official definition is widgets are independent sections of content that can be placed into any widgetized area, provided your theme commonly called sidebars. That's what the right-hand well of content is called, is a sidebar. To populate your sidebar's widget areas with individual widgets, drag and drop the titles into the desired area. By default, only the first widget area is expanded. You can add other widget areas as you see fit, but for our case, we are just going to use what is easily included in our theme. So you can see these are available widgets, and these are, again, little self-contained blocks of code, and all you do is grab them and add them to your sidebar if you want them to show up on your website. Now let's take a look at the widgets that we have installed. If I go to my widget screen, I can see in my main sidebar I have a search widget. Now, I don't give this a title because I don't want any text to show up. I could, if I go here and see, that widget is controlling this search mechanism here. Now, if I want to give that a title, I could go here and just type in search for and click save. Go back over to our website, refresh the page, and you can see it adds that title, search for. You may or may not want the title of your widget included. If you do, fine. You'll notice that our style sheet capitalizes that. If you're using a different style sheet, of course, it's going to look different. Let me go back over because I don't really want to use a title, so I'm going to remove that, click save. Go back over, double check, and you can see that the title is gone. So that search box is contained in this little box of code right here called search. Now, what if I didn't want the search there? What if I wanted the search to be after posts? And all of these are widgets. You can see recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and metadata. They are all listed out here. Recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, metadata. If I add or remove something in the widget area, it's going to show up on the site. So rather than having search at the top, I'm going to move it down to the bottom. And when you move something or make a change here, you don't have to save. It automatically saves it for you. So let's go back to our website. Now right now the search box is at the top. If I refresh the page, the search box has been moved to the bottom. It's that easy to manage widgets. The biggest decision you have to make is which widgets do you want on your sidebar. So let's say that I do not want the comments showing up on my sidebar. I can go into widgets. I simply grab the comments. I can either just drag and drop them off of the screen. And then when I go back out to my website, comments are gone. The other thing that I can do is I can just open this up and click delete or close. Some widgets even have little options. For example, if you want archives, if you have lots of articles on your site, you can post them as an archive. You can display them as a drop-down menu. Someone, when they click over archives, it'll drop down, or you can show them as post counts. Each widget, you can find more information on each widget, but again, this is very, very basic. Categories, we haven't covered categories yet. In this video, if you haven't, go watch the category video. If we had categories defined, they would be listed here. Right now we only have one category, and that's uncategorized. So go watch the category video and we'll show you how to change that here. So again, you have a variety of widgets. You can put a calendar there. We've got the categories there already. If I wanted a list of pages, I could grab that and simply drop it in here. I can give it a title if I want to. I'm just going to give it there. I'm going to save the widget. And remember, the sidebar itself is saved automatically. When you do add a widget, you do need to save the individual widget, especially if you make changes. Let's go back here, and we should see our pages widget right there. Now, you know the difference between pages and posts. We're not going to go into that again, but it adds a menu there, and it is redundant from our menu up here, so but this is a good way to do it either way. Whatever you want to do, you can do that, but what it does is add the pages that you have. Since we're using pages in our top menu, I'm going to take that off. Other things I can do: recent posts, recent comments, the RSS feed. This is the feed that some search engines use, or people can pick up your RSS feed to post your content on their site. That is too deep a content or a subject for this discussion. We're not going to worry about that. The tag cloud, we talked about tags in another video. Tags are one of the ways that search engines find you on the web. If you want a bunch of tags, meaning keywords displayed, you can stick that over there. And then you can do a text, arbitrary, it's early, arbitrary text or HTML. I use this to place things in my sidebars. Let's go over here to, this is a go, interviewing authors. You can see that I have things in my sidebar that are not menu items. They're not categories, they're not tags, they're not calendars, they're not recent posts. They're basically promotional items. And the way you put them in, you do have to know a little bit of HTML, is you use the arbitrary widget. And what I've done there is I have, let's just put one over here and I'll show you how it works. All right, what you can do there is you can put in anything you want. Tim, I'm just going to title it Tim Says Hey. You can put in text, you can put in HTML, and that's what I've done here. I have the actual HTML that is calling this image, meaning it's placing the image on the page, and then there is also the link to the image. Now, unfortunately, with widgets, you can't do the easy drag and drop media like you can when posting on pages or posts. You actually have to know how to do HTML. Relatively easy to do, but if it's not something you're familiar with, it is something that you can mess up, as they say. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Go back out to our website, refresh, and when I scroll down, you can see there it is. There's my title, and then there is Tim Says Hey. Again, I could put in HTML there for graphics. I could put in HTML for just regular text. I also use this over on my Entrepreneur Code website. Again, what you see here, this is the very same template that we're using. I do have graphics posted there with links. You can do that using this text widget. All right, so I'm going to delete it for now. So that's really it for widgets. Now, there's another widget down on the footer if you want to put things down on the bottom. For example, let's say I grab recent comments and I put them in the footer. All right. And then I go back over to my website. Now the footer area is what's down below. The header is at the top, the footer is at the bottom. You can see that this is the footer widget, and you can see my recent comments there. So if I want to put things at the bottom of the screen, I certainly can there. Let me add recent pages, or recent posts rather, to the footer and see what that looks like. Refresh my page. I go back down to my footer, and there you go. So again, to sum up, widgets are just really cool little self-contained lines of code that you can drag and drop anywhere you want. I do have 2 more areas here, extra footer areas. That is just going to continue to add the content at the bottom. Again, mostly what we deal with at when I do this is the sidebar. If I put anything at the footer, let me go ahead and delete this. And delete this. I might want to put my copyright at the bottom. So I would just go here, copyright, Okay, type that in, click Save, go back over, I've updated my footer, and I go down and I see copyright 2016. So that's how you use widgets. Again, figure out which widgets you want on your website. That is almost a limerick. Which widgets you want on your website. And then use this tool, the widget screen, to do that. So on our website, I really don't want the metadata there. Metadata is more, let me scroll down and show you what metadata is. It's got your link to log in. You can leave that there if you want. I personally will just, I know where to go because your login is always the same. It's the WP-admin. If I want to log out, I can click that. These are my RSS feeds, and this takes me to WordPress. So I really don't want that on, so I'm going to delete the meta. I'm going to move search back to the top, and I don't have any archives on this site, so I'm going to delete archives. I am going to leave categories, so when we do the category video you can see how that works. Other things, let's say you can put a calendar here. Let's see what the calendar does. This should be a calendar of all your posts and pages, and there we go. Like today is gosh, 7/1 already. I haven't posted anything on 7/1, but if I go back here to June, you can see the bolded dates, and you can click on the date and it'll show you the daily archive. That's what the calendar is really good for. If you post on a daily basis, you may want to leave the calendar there to give your users an easy way to move around the site. So, all right, so that's it for widgets. Just remember, you've got your main sidebar. Also keep in mind, you may choose a theme that does not have a sidebar. Your widgets may be somewhere else on the website. So a lot of it is theme dependent, but for what we're doing with the Suits theme, this is how widgets work and where they are located on the site.